Aviation is an exercise in kinetic energy. We fling hundreds of tons of metal through the stratosphere at near supersonic speeds. Beneath the surface, the physics changes. Millions of gallons of crude push silently through dark, heavy subterranean steel veins. To keep a modern subcontinent functioning, its economy relies on balancing these two highly contradictory methods of moving resources. Aviation provides a highly agile point-to-point network built specifically to transport high-value human capital. Pipelines represent the opposite extreme, a fixed, inflexible architecture engineered to relentlessly deliver bulk energy. Look at a physical map of India, and you see how these two transport systems diverge to conquer the geography. The airspace functions as a series of rapid arcs, instantly bridging major urban nodes like Delhi and Mumbai. The pipeline grid, conversely, forms heavy, continuous veins that slowly drag imported fuel from coastal extraction points deep into the interior. By dissecting the intense regulatory matrix that governs the sky and the physical limitations buried underground, we uncover the rules of logistics. Large-scale infrastructure operates on a brutal logic. Every billion-dollar investment forces a choice between prioritizing absolute velocity or uninterrupted volume. Governing the airspace above 1 billion people requires a highly decentralized matrix operating under the Ministry of Civil Aviation. Because moving at high velocity carries extreme catastrophic risk, the state divides responsibility, isolating safety, security, and economics into distinct agencies. The Directorate General of Civil Aviation, or DGCA, acts as the ultimate enforcer, mandating airworthiness and strict safety regulations for every aircraft. Physical security is stripped out and handed to the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security, which standardizes threat protocols across all domestic and international flights. Meanwhile, the financial mechanics are managed by the Airports Economic Regulatory Authority of India, which controls tariffs and monitors hub performance. The actual footprint of these hubs is managed by the Airports Authority of India, executing the massive capital expenditure needed to expand terminals and cargo facilities. This matrix even accounts for geographic outliers through specialized state carriers like Pawan Hans Helicopters Limited. They deploy the necessary hardware to access entirely isolated terrain, supporting remote offshore oil sectors and traversing inaccessible hilly regions. This compartmentalization in the air differs slightly from the ground, where entities like the Commission of Railway Safety maintain distinct combined investigatory and advisory powers for train operations. Putting a single commercial flight into the air requires the synchronized output of all these competing regulatory vectors, balancing speed, safety, and physical capacity. We can measure the success of this regulatory matrix by looking at the physical economic output of its primary nodes. When we measure the surge in passenger handling, distinct geographic patterns emerge. This chart visualizes the top 10 growth airports globally, showing a massive upward trend in human transit. Notice the specific dominance of New Delhi at over 14% growth and Bangalore at nearly 13%, scaling rapid human capital transit. But industrial freight operates under distinct economic requirements, prioritizing proximity to manufacturing and shipping lanes over population centers. Look at the cargo growth metrics. Mumbai hits 18%, and Chennai reaches 17%, acting as the critical air nodes for high-value freight. The aviation network organically segregates its purpose. Inland nodes optimize for tech and political capital, while coastal hubs optimize for global industrial exchange. Now, contrast that agile, invisible network of the sky with the heavy, permanent architecture buried in the earth. Pipeline transit demands massive initial capital expenditure, making it the ultimate exercise in economic sunk costs. The primary limitation is brutal. Once you lay a steel pipe in the ground, its maximum capacity and its geographic route are locked permanently. Operators take on immense ongoing burdens, managing intense security arrangements and complex leak detection systems spanning thousands of underground miles. Yet, despite these rigid constraints, pipelines remain indispensable for moving bulk liquids and slurries. They deliver unparalleled long-term efficiency with near-zero maintenance. Crucially, they offer total immunity to the severe weather conditions that routinely ground aviation. The economics dictate a harsh compromise. Operators forfeit all of their geographic flexibility to secure absolute, uninterrupted, weather-immune volume. The routing of a pipeline is entirely determined by the need to bridge a hostile extraction zone with a stable inland consumption hub. The origins of these networks often sit in extreme environments, like the deep water extraction platforms in Mumbai High. Mapping these connections across the Indian subcontinent reveals a highly deliberate strategy. The Naharkatia to Bairani pipeline originally moved oil inland before requiring a critical extension even further west to Kanpur. The Salaya to Mathura pipeline functions as a massive artery, dragging coastal imports from Gujarat straight into the heart of Uttar Pradesh. And the Hazira Bijapur Jagdishpur gas pipeline executes a sprawling cross-state route, penetrating multiple state borders from Maharashtra through Madhya Pradesh and into UP. All of these lines terminate at dense, heavy industrial complexes, facilities that rely entirely on this continuous flow to survive. These pipelines function as billion-dollar geographical treaties, permanently anchoring the location of the nation's heavy industry. Place the matrix of the sky and the arteries of the earth into a single comparative view. The aviation model optimizes for velocity, despite regulatory overhead and weather vulnerability. The pipeline model optimizes for continuous energy transfer, paying the price of geographic inflexibility. Neither architecture can replace the other. A functioning economy demands both the rapid agility of discrete transit and the brute force of continuous flow. True national resilience lies in mastering these two extremes, securing the agile matrix of the sky and building the rigid arteries of the earth.